Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. NWA Samhain 3.
Three.
3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5. We don't know. We'll get into that in a minute. But of course, you just heard the dulcet Scottish tones of my NWA Ride or Die. You can see her if you're watching on YouTube. You're just about to hear her if you're on Spotify. It is Miss Fiona Lockwood. Good evening.
Good evening. It's a Thursday night, which has really confused me because we normally do this on a Wednesday, but it's nice to see you again.
As always, it's a pleasure to see you. And yes, it's going to be quite weird for the next couple of weeks due to some sort of festive period that we've got coming up. That these we're going to be, oh,
We
go.
do have a power on Christmas Eve, though.
Yes, I know.
I'm excited.
You get to see that, and
Quality,
as the clock
quality Christmas Eve viewing.
as the clock strikes midnight on Christmas Day, Samhain may come to an end. We don't know. We'd have to get into that because they didn't give you an idea. They only gave you an idea of one match next week, and we've still got quite a big match that they haven't
Yeah.
come through. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
yes, NWA Samhain 3. We looks that Kill was this past weekend, so we'll see that sometime in February. I would have thought. And some bits. There is some injury news coming out of it. We will talk about that actually. We'll give you some injury news coming out of it because there's quite some of them you would have seen. Well, definitely would have seen. And we'll also give you a match that's just been announced for Shockwave, which has got quite interesting, quite an interesting match that's been announced for Samhain. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's first start with Samhain 3, and the promo was brilliant this week. It was the opening was
Always,
Magic
always.
Jake, was Zion, it was Austin Idol, it was the Baron and Jax who are main eventing this week, Fee.
Yay! Finally, my boys.
Yes, we'll get to see them in a minute. But it actually kicked off with, I'm going to say, match of the night, I think, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Which was the It Girls Caribbean Flow, the tag titles.
No count outs, no what else? There was no time limit either for this
Yeah,
one.
no running away from basically for the It Girls on this one. Sam start with neck brace, without neck brace during the match as it went on. I tell you what though, this is the thing why I think Power it should be 3 matches a week. This got given, I don't know, 12, 15 minutes or so on the
Yeah, there
show.
or thereabouts.
Bruh, it was brilliant. Again, showcasing the women's talent. They were absolutely fantastic on this. And it was quite, well, it was either way, this one. There was times when I thought the Caribbean Flow might have picked up the victory in this fee.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. I, it's not my favorite women's tag team match. I thought, I mean, it was all right. I didn't think it was great. I thought some of it was clumsy.
Hmm.
There was too much running around outside the ring for my liking.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather watch, I'm watching a wrestling show, I'd rather see people wrestle than fanning about outside the ring, to be honest with you. That's just a personal opinion. Um, it was okay. I mean, the four girls are super talented, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. And I love watching them wrestle, but I don't know, like for me, I was a little bit disappointed in that one.
No, interesting. Interesting choice of clothing as well for Ella in that.
Well, it was ha Halloween slash Christmas, so they were kind of doing their Halloween vibe, I guess.
I don't know what she was. She's a schoolgirl though, isn't she?
Yeah, or school teacher or
I
something.
know
I
that
don't know.
Frill Billy put up that he got in trouble with the wife.
Fair enough. No comment.
Yeah, zero comment on that. But we did say that Caribbean Flow came close to
They
winning.
did, absolutely. I am starting to quite like the two of them as a tag team.
They are very good, but they did come close, but not close enough. Was because as La Rosa Nega was going for the frog splash, Ella froze her off the rope. Sam hit Starstruck and then tagged Ella for the pinfall.
Yeah, that was
What was that?
that caught me off guard. I'm quite surprised. I would have thought Miss Star, you know what she's like. She's very much all about me, as Ella is always very much about her. So that caught me off guard. I really did not expect her to tag Ella in just to take the pin.
No, neither
Or
did I.
make the pin, not take the pin, I
I
should
mean,
say, just to make the pin.
egos, egos.
Yeah, like interesting. Really interesting.
It was actually. It was interesting pinfall. I kind of said I kind of liked it. I did think there was a lot of outside stuff which probably they could have done without too much of it. But the stuff inside the ring I thought was good. There was a little bit clumsy as the early part
Yeah,
of
there was
it.
a flapjack at one point, and I just thought it looked really awkward.
Mm.
I mean, I'm one to talk, considering I never administered one or taken one, and I've only taken a few bumps in the rings over the years. So I can't really, I mean, I suppose it's pretty shit of me to say that, but I looked at it and went,
So, Premier British Wrestling, I want to know if you want someone to take a flapjack at your next show,
no, Ross, don't listen.
she might have to up the fee that she literally
Yeah,
the
just a
fee was to
bit.
take it, but yeah, she's willing to take the flapjack. There you go. Anyone that's get a Rio to do it. That's the one. There you
She
go. Rio.
doesn't like me as it is.
Well, there you go, Rio. You've got my permission to
Adam Shop.
to give her a flapjack. I want to see a video of it if it does happen. Anyway, we had one title match. I'm going to cruise in for a bruising, so I'm going to move on. We're we had one title match. We're now moving to another, the National Championship Mims with, of course, Black G's. Every time I love them. I think they're great together. I do like Mims in his
They
like
are. It
Spider-Man
confused
trunk.
me though with Tyrus's music.
Yeah, and he's got
I'm like,
Spider-Man trunk.
get him some new tunes, man, honestly. Get him his own music. Obviously, I know it's a church's money type thing and
Yeah.
church's money enterprises. I'm guessing that's a theme for them, but I'd quite like to see Mims with some new music.
I thought he had decent music when he before he went to
Mm.
G's, right? He had decent music then. But as I was saying, he had Spider-Man trunks. He had like a his trunks had the
Heads.
you know
X-Mims on the back.
X-Mims instead of X-Men, but it was in the shape of a spider or in the version of a Spider-Man version of that. Taking on the Brit Burchill as again another solid, good back and the forth match of this.
Honestly, I thought this also had a 20-minute time limit on it
It
as
did.
well. I thought Birchall looked incredible.
Mm.
Like he's in such good shape. Um, I was excited for this one. Actually, I was looking forward to this one. I thought they had an absolute cracker, to be honest with you. There was a lot of back and forth. Again, there was a fair bit outside the ring on this one.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was a fair bit of back and forward, and obviously with G's around, there's going to be some sort of shenanigans involved.
Very
And there
much so.
was.
And there was exactly that. He did end up throwing a chair inside the ring, which distracted the ref. And as he done that, what did he hit him with?
So he came to the ring with a sort of, it wasn't quite a gold plate, a gold bowl. And when you see him at the start of the ring, he had his phone in it and he picks
Mm.
his phone up and has a look. So it's some sort of gold dish, let's call it a dish. It's not a bowl or a plate, gold dish. And he clobbered Burchill on the head
It
with
made a
it.
noise,
Like,
didn't it, when that hit him? Gee.
absolutely clobbered him, which let Mims do a massive spear on Burchill, which he kicked out of. I was like, go on, my son.
And then it was, I don't know what you call it. It was like a backdrop, standing backdrop type
I
move.
have no idea what it was.
Because he used to do the world's strongest slam, didn't he? That was
Yeah, and
he did
it was some sort of slam. I have no idea what
to
that
try
is.
and get you a bit of context to anyone that's watching, it was like a backdrop, except Mims doesn't drop; he stands and just drops Birchall, basically.
Yeah,
That's the
and
easy way to describe it.
got the pin.
He did.
I'm not entirely sure he would have done that. He would have managed that though if it wasn't for G's.
Yeah, I was. They were making good points on commentary, weren't they? Deals and everyone was saying that there was a point in there. I think there may have been a submission. I think that Birchall had on him, and they were saying that potentially, if it weren't, if Mims
It
wasn't
was
with
dangerous
G's,
for Mims, basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he may not have got out of it because he would have panicked.
yeah.
Something along those lines anyway. But yeah, that was, to be fair, you're right. That probably was better than the tag match, actually, come to think of it now, looking at it in a
Just
terms
I
of
think like for
mm.
like again, it's two big guys knocking the shit out of each other. It's what I like. Not really much more I can say about that, to be honest.
No, I don't think I can really add anything to that other than Mims retains the national championship in that match. And say who could be next? I mean, we don't really know at this point, right? Who's next for Mims?
No, there's not really, yeah. No, off the top of my head, I can't think, and we'll go off air and I'll be like, oh, it could have been this person, could have been this person. I don't know what's next for him.
I don't recall anything being announced.
I
even from
can't.
looks
Did
at
he have a
kill.
match that looks at Kill at the weekend? I do not know. I cannot remember. And
I
I
want
know
to know
we
when we're going to
did
see
last.
Mike Mondo. That's when I want to know.
I know you're dying for Mike Mondo to appear. Every week you're like, Mike Mondo. No, he's not there.
Every
I
week, I'm waiting. I don't know if now. I don't even know if it was that. If we done, if they done, did they do tape-ins prior to Looks That Kill?
can't remember.
Neither can I. It's annoying
I
me
don't know
now.
if there was tapings after Samhain or not.
I can't remember. I really can't.
I'm going to laugh so hard though if you've just imagined Mike Mondo was going to be there.
I, I'm saying he's definitely going to be in the NWA. I know that. I just don't know when. And I could have sworn that he put out something about it being at Samhain, but maybe I have just completely
You
imagined.
never know. We still
He,
got at least one more week to go.
he's definitely going to NWA. That I know.
You heard it here first.
Look at his things on X. Yeah, he's definitely going NWA. And I'm hoping he's going to be there a while. I'm hoping he's going to be a new addition to the roster. Because anyway, amazing. The reason why is because I had him on the show not long prior
Right.
to the announcement that come out that he was going to the NWA. And I know it's been a while since I had him on the show, but he was definitely NWA bound. So if it's not
Just
Sour, it will be
keep
soon.
waiting, darling.
Wait until he does, because he's hench now. He is a bowling ball. That's really boulder.
I
What I
haven't
was
seen
trying to think
him,
of.
so
Bowling
I
ball
haven't
wasn't
seen him in
even
a
the right
long
word.
time, so that could be interesting.
Yeah, I've just called him a bowling ball though. That wasn't the right. A boulder was not what I was meant to say.
A bowling ball, that
Oh,
like gives me visions of something completely different. You're gonna get your arse kicked for that one, mate.
oh, my commando. I'm so sorry. I'm blame Fee. She hasn't taken a flapjack yet. Rio, you two now.
Just you shut it.
Two. And anyway, speaking of the women, because we were just talking about Rio, but she was actually at the Heart Foundation's Natty's dungeon, along
She
with man like
has. I
Dries.
know that she's been in Florida for the last little while,
Yeah,
so
with Dries and a couple of others over with
yeah.
Natty and Co. But it kind of moved me on nicely because we went then to the holder of Zed Burke, Miss Kenzie Page, who next week on Samhain, Christmas Eve / Christmas Day, has the La Princesa Tiffany Nieves in what will be
Who
a
is
great.
not in her league, apparently.
According to Kenzie Page, Tiffany Neves is not in her league. I'm not quite sure that's well. I'm not quite sure that's strictly true, Kenzie. I think she may be in your league. However, we kind of know who wins that match next
I
week,
know, which is frustrating.
which is annoying. It will be a great match, that's for sure. That's what we can know. It'd be a great. We do know it'd be a great match. But Kenzie will face La Princesa next week, and she was basically saying, as you rightly said, that La Princesa is not on Kenzie's level. Well, we'll find out next week on
We will
Samhain,
indeed. It's
and
the
when
only
we.
match that's really properly been announced, so
It is literally the only match next week has been announced, considering we've still got the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match between Tom Latimer and EC3, or the rematch.
we
That's when
do
Mike Mondo's
indeed.
going to debut. Uh,
Oh, God.
he's going to attack Latimer at the end. That's what I don't know.
Oof, brave
I,
man.
I'm going to have a few. I've got a few enemies now because I've made an enemy of Mike Mondo. And now I've made an enemy of Latimer by saying that.
And you're very close to making an enemy of me if Rio gets her hands on me.
I got her email address somewhere.
Yeah, just you behave.
We'll have to get her on the podcast, and you can come on with us, and we
I'm scared of her.
can have a great
She's
interview.
very intimidating.
She is very intimidating, to be fair. Very, very intimidating. Yeah, flapjacks all round on that one. Anyway, let's not talk about you being flapjacks, at least not for another week or so.
I
Anyway,
didn't say that.
now, main event time. It was Zion. It was it was Magic Jake as well. With
With
Austin Idol
with the joy of my life that is Austin Idol.
against the Baron and against Jax Dane, the Dane event. Now, the interesting rule in this match was that the claw was banned.
And he struggled.
Boy, did the Baron struggle not to have that
He
claw.
struggled. Even the yeah. Oh no. Oh. But
Every
Jake
time.
kept goading him. Like kept goading him. Which I suppose was a smart move on Jake's part, to be honest with you, because the minute that touched his head, they would be DQ'd.
Yes, it was relatively smart on Magic Jake's front, but it was also absolutely stupid because what happens was instead of the claw, he gets his trunk popped by
He
Jack,
does indeed. He
which lays
does
him out.
indeed.
And now I was a bit confused of who the legal man was at this
I
point.
think comms were as well by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I was like, "Who's it? Who? What the hell's going on?" But he did ended up Jack popped the trunk. Then, of course, the Baron pins Jake. But then, see, this is where the Baron's still got a bit of. He's still got some brain cells in there. I'm not quite sure how many, but he's got enough to realise that he can now use the claw.
And Jax encourages him because he's like getting the crowd all up and be like,
Yeah.
and the crowd are all behind him, which they tried several times during the match. If you listen to the crowd, they're like
Yeah,
they were baying for that claw to come out.
and they eventually did. And I quote from Joe Garley, "He's going to kill him." Was what Joe was saying, or maybe Danny, I can't remember. It was one of the two. Uh, but he was going to kill him when he had the choke on.
Just be thankful then, Mr. Dumas, for the lovely large towel that Jax carries around with him then. That's all I'll say on that matter.
Yes, because of it all, that was the power music in the background on my phone. Because I had the NWA Power thing come up. Yes, thankfully, the towel was at ringside, or Jax had the towel. He brung it on, or whatever it was, the hood that he brings on, and he did manage to get the Baron off eventually. Magic Jake, and that was Power this week. Now, looking at the Power, which is why the music went on for NWA Power. The viewings is quite low. Well, last time we looked at, I remember it was like 48 the first week we looked at it,
Yeah.
but it was like 70 odd thousand. They always get over 100,000. Like there's no like that. But this week, at the time of this recording, considering we're a day later,
2 days later,
two
almost,
days
really.
later, really, they're only on 28,000 this week.
That's interesting.
Don't know why. Could just be. It could be people are busy. Obviously, Christmas is coming up, and
Yeah.
that could be next week's maybe less. Could be more. Who knows? Because it's going to be, as you said, Christmas Eve at the time of recording.
Well, that's it. Christmas Eve. I know what I'll probably be doing next Tuesday, and I'm not looking forward to it, but it will probably be sitting in the living room with a coffee, till the wee small hours, wrapping all the stuff that I've gone, oh shit, I've not done that yet.
I will be asleep probably. To be fair, at that time because it's 11:05 UK time. 11:05 UK time. It's 6:05 Eastern in America, so they'll be having their I'll say Thanksgiving, pre-turkey again, right over there, potentially. And yeah, we'll be having. I don't know. Probably I'll probably be having some form of takeaway, and
I'm having my Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve.
there you go. So you'll be able to watch Power with a Brussels sprout, a Yorkie pudding,
Yorkie puddings, yeah. No, no to the Brussels sprouts.
turkey,
Yeah. Roasties,
roasties, veg,
dauphinoise potatoes.
dolphin potatoes. What's this all about?
Oh,
I do
sliced
like. I
potatoes,
mean, I like them.
cream and onions and stuff. All the good shit, basically. And how can you have Christmas dinner without pigs and blankets?
Uh, I agreed.
For our non-British friends, pigs and blankets, basically chipolata sausages wrapped in British bacon, not your style bacon, British bacon.
Or not
They
maple
are
bacon
dynamite.
either. If you're in Canada, who probably have maple bacon. And I know you can get maple bacon, pigs in
Bacon's
blankets as
good.
well.
But yeah, it's Christmas Eve. So more Samhain, Christmas dinner. I'm in for a good night. I'm wrapping Christmas presents, so I'm in for a good night next Tuesday.
Well, Santa Claus does that. See?
Santa Claus does wrap the presents that Santa brings, but I have also bought some gifts for my mom and I bought some gifts for the kids. So I have to do that too because Santa's not going to be very happy coming down my chimney and me going, "Oi, mate, do you want to sort them out as well, please?"
You can come down a chimney and watch Power.
He could. Maybe we could say, oh, we could have like milk and cookies and watch Power.
You could
Maybe
do.
I
I
can't fit all the
bet
reindeer in my
I bet
living
he
room.
watches it as well. I bet he's a fan of Power. And I bet he likes gags. And that brings me nicely to what was announced for Shockwave.
You're so excited about this.
I don't actually don't know if I'm gonna. So it's gonna be Lev, and it's gonna be Gags the Gimp, and it's a match in which if Lev loses, Lev's hair is cut off. If Gags loses, he unmasks.
I'm not sure if that's like for like, to be honest with you. And I know that sounds like a really stupid statement. You're like, of course, hair versus mask is not like for like, right? But I don't know if it's quite a fair. I can't put this into words. I know what I'm thinking. I just can't say it. I'm just going to shut up.
Fair. It's not like for like though. You are right. It's not like a
It's almost like taking a lucha and saying, okay, we'll cut his hair off or we'll take your mask off. You can't unmask a lucha. You kind of
no.
can't unmask gags, like, because he'll never be the same again. At least Lev can grow his hair back and be the same person he was before, but gags can't do that.
No, Gags cannot. And it may not be a sight that we want to see come Shockwave. But before then, obviously, there was Looks That Kill. We did mention a few unfortunate injury updates. Now, you mentioned one about Odison.
Yeah, I know that Odison wasn't there. I believe, now I don't know what his injury was, but I know that he was injured and wasn't cleared to wrestle at the show. So that was a shame
That
because
was
I
a sh-
like him.
and we hope that he gets
He's
better
on the
soon.
mend soon. Absolutely.
And now, on top of that, you would have seen Natalia Markova with a shiner, very cut
Absolute belter
from the
from the
cage
cage.
that she had with Tiffany Neves, if I'm
It
right.
was indeed, yeah.
So there was that, and then there was apparently an even worse, say worse injury. I don't know if that's a word.
Worse, just
It was
worse.
literally Looks That Kill, and they were literally the ones that were getting killed. Not figuratively, well, figuratively. But Brian Idol was in the match with Phil Billy Size Mason. I don't even think it's going to air on NWA Power because it literally lasts about 10, 20 seconds. As Brian Idol goes to I suppose he tries to dive, I think, from what I hear. Uh, Phil Billy swings a chair and breaks the collarbone of Brian Idol.
Ouch. That
Now I
sounds
don't
quite
know
painful.
whether we'll see that's part of a storyline. I don't. I mean, it's not a storyline injury, by the way. It's a legit paramedics. The lot they had to, get him on the street, get him out of there. So whether they'll use it as a storyline and air it, I don't know. But
Okay.
that's what happened. So Brian Idol, we hope you get better as well, and we also hope that Kylie is better as well.
Oh, I know, with a little broken arm, is it?
Broken
Yeah.
arm for Kylie
Yeah.
Page. So injuries going galore. We actually just changing the subject because I want to say thanks to Riot Cabaret for this week. We had an injury at Riot Cabaret as well this week.
It was Spike Trevay, was it?
It was. I'll send you the video. It's a brainbuster on a chair.
That
Yeah.
does not sound pleasant.
Well, the worst thing was that happened quite early on, and he still finished
I
the
saw
match.
him tweet that he remembers nothing before the match or during the match or after the match.
No, he doesn't remember anything, and he still managed to do a Death Valley driver off the outside of the ring through a table. He still took a move at the end at Charles Crowley that he then had to have oxygen for. So I think maybe his body went, I suppose, could have gone into
Or they got
shock,
into
could have
shock or something,
gone
yeah.
down. He was twiddling, he's doing all that with his fingers and his legs it's quite a scary point. And lucky enough, it was during the intermission. So that, we could, I think the intermission went on a bit longer because they had to get him out of the ring. But he was conscious enough that when he got up with the oxygen mask on and the crowd were clapping him, he just went,
Attaboy.
good old Spike. You can take,
Um,
but anyway, yeah, it's good to see that he's okay. But yeah, there was an injury concern there. Now, Fee, I'm going to
that's
let
a few
you.
people out for NWA then at the moment.
Yes, there's four. I think we've just gone through four.
No, that's what I'm saying. That yeah, that's quite, there's quite a few. So I'm wondering. Oh, I hope some of them are fit for Shockwave.
And then they announced they're coming back to Dolphin Alabama, and you may be there.
They are. So Hard Times 5 is in Dothan on the 22nd of March. I have purchased a ticket for that. I was planning on being out in the States at that time anyway. Hadn't quite figured out my plans. Still haven't quite figured out my plans, but I do have a ticket for Hard Times 5. Should I manage to work out how to get there? It's not the easiest place in the world to fly to. You have to fly into like Atlanta, and then it's like a little dinky like four-seat plane, like two and two. So it's a small plane. It's just a little regional airport. Um, I will probably be out in Texas again. Um, in March. I have looked at prices to get from there out to Dothan. They're extortionate. So I might need to rethink my travel plans. I haven't booked anything yet, but yeah, I would love to be there for Hard Times 5. It's been a long time. I feel like it's been a long time since I was at an NWA show because I wasn't at one this year. So I haven't been since 2023. So yeah, I'd quite like to be there for that one.
I need to try and get out of there for one at some
You
point.
do. It's a good time. Definitely a good time.
Need to try and get out there. Hopefully, who knows?
But
We can
yeah, tickets on sale for that Saturday, the 22nd of March, 2025.
go
I
and
heard
get
they
them.
had a good crowd at the weekend and it's a great venue as well.
And we
So
don't know if they're going to be taking this for Power or if this is signature live event. It didn't actually say on the poster.
it's be a signature live event and potentially Powerrr episodes all rolled into one. Who knows?
We don't know. But before we get to that, what have you got coming up for the?
A weekend off. Yay! Because the December's been pretty hectic.
Yeah.
I have two shows just after Christmas though, the last two of 2024, which makes me realise I haven't actually tallied up the amount of the amount of shows I've been at. I should probably sit and do that and figure out how many it has been. But I'm with W3L, which is Worldwide Wrestling League, which is a mouthful, but I got there in the end. On Friday, the 27th of December, we're at Petticoat Bay Holiday Park, which always struck me as being a strange place to go to a holiday park, but they're so busy. Like after Christmas, super, super busy. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be fun. And then the following day, on the 28th of December, we are in Bathgate. So it's an evening show on the 27th and it's an afternoon show on the 28th. So that'll be fun.
And of course, you've got Inside the Ropes coming up too.
Inside the Ropes in January, lots kind of to look forward to next year. I've got some good gigs lined up, which is cool. I'm excited.
Good gigs lined up there. You know, July is coming along, and maybe something could be happening in July that you might want to come to.
If you can fit me in July, good luck. I have a whole ton of stuff in July already. I'm going away to Shetland Islands for a week
You want a
with
third flapjack from Rio?
PBW. It's also Kenny McIntosh's wedding from
It
Inside the
is.
Rope.
Yes.
What else is happening in July? The end of July it's Belladrum Music Festival with Premier British Wrestling again. So I think I've literally got like 2 days free in July.
It probably won't be one of them.
Give me the dates on Robbie and I'll see what I can do.
No, it's all good. It hasn't even been announced yet anyway. So don't worry too much.
Just book it around me
Book it around you. We've got the date is
then.
the show isn't the date is. Anyway, literally in about 20 minutes time, I am going to be obviously 20 minutes time at time of recording. You'll get see this later, guys. We'll be going back down to the valley and island of Extreme. I had Todd Gordon last week, and in about 20 minutes time, I'll be having the Queen of Extreme. That's one Francine.
That's going to be fun.
That should be a ton of fun. I've got quite a few to reel off. We're going to be collaborating with the FTR Follow the Revolution page and Cruising with Kayfabe podcast at the end of the month because we're going to be reviewing together World's End from AEW. So it's a bit of a collaboration. We're also going to be talking to Ignite. We're going to be doing our year-end review with Ignite. And as we start the year, once again, we're going to be going down to Extreme with Mr. C.W. Anderson will be coming on as well. And then we're going to start a new show. Actually, I've got wrong because before we've got all of that, there's the slightly controversial podcast that I've booked today. And it's going to be happening at the end of December, recording at the end of December. He was the greatest, I don't know if he's the greatest man ever lived or the greatest wrestler that ever lived. Mr. Austin Aries will be coming on the podcast. He's coming back to England to do some matches over, I think at PCW, I think somewhere along those lines.
That would sound about right. That's where I first encountered him and saw him wrestle live. Yeah.
I'll be encountering him in a couple of weeks on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Looking forward to that. And then we're going to be doing a new series called Independent Showcase, where we showcase promotions, independent wrestlers. And we've already got a load lined up. So obviously we're going to do Ignite, and Ignite's going to do their end of year review, but was always going to happen anyway because that's just us together as always. Now we've also got North Wrestling coming on. So Andrew from
NCL, what a great show. They are well worth a visit. NCL are amazing.
They certainly are. So we'll be having a chinwag with Andrew from NCL. I'll also be talking to the owner of Riot Cabaret. We'll be coming on for a chat as well. James will be coming over at some point for a conversation in January. And of course, the soon to be returning Wrestle Carnival will be coming over for a chat too. And then our NWA Spotlight returns in January with someone who could be the holder of the Burke at the time we speak to her. She may have already got the Burke this weekend. We don't know. Unless NWA spoil it with Shockwave, which
Which they might well do because they're
which
quite good at that.
if you know NWA, they absolutely will. But we're going to be interviewing Holly Hood, Haley J. Myself and you, V, will be interviewing
We
her
are
after we do the
indeed.
Power review that day. So that's a lot to look forward to. And going back to my wrestling independent spotlight, Ruthless Rob Drake, Lana Austin's husband, will be coming on as well to do that show. And I can breathe now because I think I finished everything that I was going to say before then. But now, as we all know, it is Christmas next week, so we're not going to pod on Christmas Day.
We're not?
I'm giving you the day off.
Oh man, okay.
So we will do Samhain next week. It just may be the Friday. Oh, I don't know. It could be any day. We don't know. We'll sort it
We'll
out.
figure it out.
It will be done. We'll still do power because obviously the following power is on New Year's Eve, and that'll be New Year's Day. I know I've got a Canvey. Well, actually, New Year's Day I could probably do that one because I'll have Canvey football in the afternoon and then the evening. So we could do that. It will just be next week's one that we'll have to get on and do at some point, but we'll do it.
We'll squeeze it in somewhere.
We'll squeeze it in somewhere, which leads me for my final piece, as I always. Shall we do this again some point next week?
Only after Santa's been.
Only after that's fair. Only after Santa's when we can talk about our presents on the show, and we'll be in the presence of Kenzie Page as we watch her against Tiffany Yenes. But until
Friendly
then,
advanced.
she has been Miss Fiona Lochran. I have been your host, Adam Cousins. You have been watching NWA Power Review on the Hypnotome podcast. Until next time, everybody. If you don't watch us before, have a great Christmas and buckle down, stay safe,
Merry Christmas,
and
everyone.
bye.